It's about going through the motions for right now. I'm discombobulated. So, but it will be gangster this month. I promise you. Okay. How's everybody doing? Good, good,
Doing great.
good. Oh, what's up? There we go. Speak to ya. All right. Let me get this like so. There's a part of this that I love because and it's because it's such a weird thing. It's almost like Inception, but it's like um these workshops will become very like I'm gonna have like a presentation and it'll follow a framework and all this stuff. But and I used to do like crazy webinars like this all the time. But what I love doing, and it's like I've been doing it a lot lately, and it's probably getting to a point of like too much doing it, but I'm being so like radically casual about it, like everything, where I'm like actually exposing more of just the things I would normally hide. Like normally I would come in more like professional and like have everything prepped, but I told myself that I'm not going to give anybody any kind of excuses because I've already been like on this crazy train many years, and in the beginning I was always like everything would start and I'd always be like, all right, well, welcome to the webinar today. What we're going to do is and I was like that guy, and it just was like so annoying to me, and I was like this isn't the thing. And then like today I got a message and somebody was like, hey Mike, it looks like you're just trying too hard on your lives. I've been watching you for a long time. You're a great guy, you got great value, but your voice when you talk, it always goes up in pitch by the end of the sentence, and it just seems like you're trying too hard and it's not very trustworthy, and all these things. And it's just so funny. It's just so funny, like all the different things that you get and you hear. And I just share this stuff with you because I don't want you to think that like even people that are doing this don't get this stuff. Or I don't want people to think that like there's just so much difference between them and like people that are out here doing it that seem like, and I probably seem like I you know, I probably don't seem like I am doing great things or whatever, but it's just I know what really matters in the end, and that is like, does the stuff that they're talking about work? And is it actually helping? And can I relate with this person? And it gets to a place where you can get too um I don't know. I don't ever want there to be, because I get that all the time. Well, it's easy for you. I used to get that all the time. And I'm like, no, you have no idea like how much I suck, actually. It's like, or it's easy for you because you're just that kind of person, or whatever. And it's like, no, this was something that has just gradually like got to a place where you can just even do it and act like it. And I want people to know that, like you just even showing up like this, right? Like there's nobody here, right? Everybody that's been here has been here before. There's no prospects, nothing. But it's it's just the fact of like going through it, and it's all 100% my fault. Like I didn't promote this. It's just like literally a link on my profile. And there's nothing there. It's like what is it even for, right? It doesn't even say what it is. But I'm glad that we can take this time for now, and just and enjoy this. So everyone has an opinion whether they're doing it or not. No, I know. Love the casual content and the realness. I think it's what's missing. When somebody said that like the most Googled word in 2023 was authenticity, I didn't know what that meant, and I still don't. All I know is what the word means. I think I know what it means, Um, and it's just interesting that just being real and talking, but then having something of value while you're there. Like today, I'm going to show you, a part of the process, and I'm going to help you understand whatever I can. And there's these things that you can look back on. And I did post, if you guys were in Build Lab, which I know Jenna, you were. I'm like, you guys, it's just you two. Jenna, you were there. I posted that TikTok that we made in Build Lab today. We'll see what it is. It's kind of a funny one, kind of a crappy one, but we'll see what it does. I always get curious about these things. It's at 54 views in the last 3 minutes. I don't even care about views. I really don't. Okay. Blah, blah. Go ahead, Jenna.
I was gonna say because of the new change with TikTok sounds and everything, a lot of them have been muted if you haven't seen that already.
Really?
Um, yeah, like most people were using trending sounds from different artists, and the art, I think it was like Universal Music Group, they took away the license for TikTok. So like all the main people that they use TikTok trending sounds for with music are all now muted, like all your old videos that had that. So when you put some new sounds in, make sure that they're, if you want to use like a sound that's on TikTok,
Yeah.
use the sound on, like input it on TikTok separate from your voice if you want, and
Mm,
people will start to use those, and that will help with some traffic. But
nice. Nice. No, it's yeah, I seen that this morning in the Morning Brew. They were talking about that. So that's interesting. That's like my news. That's all. The only news I get every day is like the Morning Brew, and then what people tell me. Other than that, I mean, I never ever watch TV. The only time I watch it is like if I'm in the evening. I'll watch like some like Love Island or something with Michelle or whatever it is. Just to like kind of let my brain not think. Um, but but yeah, no, that's cool. I mean, that's good to know. Craig, some Craig guys getting on. I don't know. I don't know. Some
That's my
crazy.
brother.
I know. I know.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
finally
that's his
know. I
name.
didn't know before, but welcome, Craig, if you're there. So, all right, what I wanted to talk to you guys about today was what's on the board right here, and I don't know if it'll even pick that up. Will it focus like that? Huh. Can it reach that far? Oh, it can. So, yeah, I was going to talk about that, which is kind of like the flow of everything, and I just wanted to get in here and see um or we can talk about whatever. Okay, so we could literally go whatever. I can get this up. This has um pretty much most of what anything I'd want to talk about or need to talk about, but we can talk about whatever you guys want since it's small and everybody's pretty much been here, done that, heard this, heard that. So I just want to help in any way that I can. I've got a better picture of that thing on the board if you do care about that. Um, what do you guys want to talk about? Let's take advantage of this because it's not going to be like this for long. Because the moment I start going crazy with the promotions on stuff, it's gonna get crazy.
I think something that would be good, and this is my first time getting to see you actually do a workshop because I've been busy the other times. But
Yeah.
I
Well,
basically
normally it's a
canceled
little bit more. It's a little bit more than this, but there's like
right.
everybody that's here is here, so or has been here before.
Um, what I was gonna say is, I think that one of the things that could be helpful and useful to a lot of people, including myself,
Mm-hmm.
is what do you do on, like, I think that you've said that you don't necessarily do a lot of batch content, like you do your lives and that's your loaf, and then you break it down. But do you have anything in plan or in place for those days where, like, let's say you get sick, heaven forbid something happens, and you're not able to go and make your pocket coaching video?
Mm.
Like, how do you overcome the what ifs of life and still being a content creator and still provide that value that you always do?
Yeah, so I think what I would do in that situation is um now let me ask you this. Does in asking this, would they have a course already in place and would they have been live before?
I think that you could, like, I would probably want to know the answer to both,
Okay.
um, on if they're getting started, and um, but I would assume that they at least have a channel and they were like getting momentum, and then something happened, or like, for instance, I am still recovering from a mild concussion,
Hmm.
and that was not planned, obviously.
Right.
But I know that my I'm all there in the moment, But as soon as it's like later, I have that little short-term memory, which I've been using my whiteboard at home to
Yeah.
leave myself notes. Um, but I know for other people, there's things that happen whether or not, like for stay-at-home moms, your kids get sick, you get sick.
Hmm.
Um, Other people, you could have a car wreck and be sitting in a hospital bed for a bit. Uh, all sorts of different things. Something happened with your family and you need to go take care of them. So if you are already have like you already have a channel, because what I would tell somebody if they haven't even started their channel is to just like get all your information ready and get ready to build it up. But if you already have your channel, how do you keep it going? And if you already have your course, then I feel like it might be even easier for you to kind of chill. But that in between stage when you
Yeah.
are still working towards getting to the traffic and you had momentum, but then you had a life hiccup.
Yeah. So, truth be told, there is no, and good question. There is no like, I mean, the truth, whether we want to accept it or not, the truth, which is what I want to work from, is that there is no chill ever. Honestly, like if I were to do this right, and anybody to do this right, or to do it in a very competitive way, or like just do it to where you are, um, going nuts and getting crazy. Like there's people out there like right now that they just have a team of people constantly just pumping content 24/7, 365, nonstop. Like there are some people that it doesn't matter what is happening. So there is no days off, right? Like in the reality of real life, there are no days off in business, right? Like every day is day. It's not Monday, Tuesday, it's just every day is day. And so there is no, there's no day off on the farm. It's not like the cows are like, oh, you just chill today. Okay. Like we got this. There is none of that. So working from the acceptance and understanding that there is no chill, the next thing is, okay, now for the majority of people that want to just make more money than they need and have, more fun than having a job, that kind of thing, and they want to do this and make money, and then something happens and they've got to post or do content or get traffic, is essentially what you're saying, is get traffic and leads, because we've got to get leads. I mean, everybody should have a goal in the very, very, very beginning, and at least always a baseline, a baseline of, we want to try to get it at least, and this is very low in reality, like 30 leads a day, like 30 quality leads a day. Now, there's times like right now, Michelle had some videos that just started blowing up, and she's got over like 700 leads today, 1,300 yesterday, and like 1,000 the day before, which is abnormal. Like that's not normal. And a lot of it is, like she said, her videos are going crazy. So she's getting like, she had one video go nuts, and then it like sparked a bunch of the other ones. And so there's a bunch of like tire kicker type stuff, but there's still a lot that will stick. Yeah. I mean, we've been together for 12 years. Yeah. So we're not married. We're just, we've been, we're not going to get married. It's just like we're together forever or whatever. Um, so the thing is like, you want to have, in that case, it's like, unless the truth is like, unless you've already prepped yourself for doomsday, then you probably aren't posting. You're just yeah, power go. You're just you're toast. Like it's like, if you haven't prepared for those moments and you can't function at all, like if you're so sick, like, because if you're sick, you're not like, oh, let me post. Um I would say like you could always like work your way into a place where you have something stuck in like a reserve spot. But this is where ads can be nice. Like you could have ads running, on stuff like that. But if you don't have that, I mean, the truth is like, if you don't post, you don't post. You're not going to get any traffic. You're not going to get any attention. Um, it's, or what can you post? Posting something is better than absolutely nothing. But if you can, you want to post something of some sort of value. And value to me, of course, is always like, can you get somebody from A to B in some part of the process or some part of the solution, right? Like, how do you, if you're selling, um, stain remover, like, can you show us, how to get rid of a stain, or can you show us like how to, not deal with some part of that process. Like show me something. That's, to me, that's what value is, right? Um, if you think, if you have another example of that, that'd be great. But I think that that's what value is: getting somebody in some part of the way, process or something from A to B. Like when they start listening to you till the end of when they listen to you, do they have a power that they didn't have before, kind of thing? Do they have a capability or a skill or an understanding or a clarity that they didn't before? So if you can do that in a picture, or if you can do that in, um, you know, an audio, a voiceover. I mean, it's really hard to say, what do you do? Like, I mean, if I got sick right now, I mean, what I would probably do is I'd probably fight, kick, and punch to maybe take some of the videos that I've already created, and I'd get on Fiverr and be like, "Hey, can you create like 10 videos out of something of this?" And I would send them, like, I would go to my live and like download some lives, or I'd give them my TikTok channel and be like, "Here, just go there and like screen record or something. Can you like turn this into something?" I think that's where I'd go first. It wouldn't be like, what do I do? It'd be like, who could do this for me? Like I would run to that right away, I think. I don't know if that helps.
Okay,
Like,
so you would rather do something like that in that moment versus, because I wasn't sure what your opinion on like taking a weekend and creating batch content or
no,
not.
yeah, that's the smart thing to do.
Okay. Because I know I'm still sort of new, not like fully new, but I hadn't heard like much on that. And I've always worked from the space of you create batch content, but then you also fill in the gaps in between.
Yeah, because there's things that
So
just happen in the moment that you want to talk about, and it's just like
yeah.
go with that. But yeah, the smart thing to do, prior preparation prevents poor performance. It's like the smart thing to do is pick a day of the week that you're gonna just all day long. It's video day, and you just crush video all day. And then the smartest thing to do after that is, can you find somebody that can take that video and turn it into good videos? Like somebody that's like, I can edit videos and I can sit down and do all that stuff, but somebody that just does that and they don't do anything else, they're going to beat me. So I could send it to them and pay them a little bit, and that's the smartest thing to do. The thing that sucks for so many people is most people that make it, most people that actually have success and make it, they usually come from a place of like being broke and coming from nothing. And that's why they actually have the power, energy, and urgency to, go get it. If somebody came from like spoon in the mouth, money and all that stuff, they may have this idea that they want to do it, but they've never felt the other side. So there's not this like huge, like, I don't think the drive is quite the same. You look at most self-made millionaires and they usually came from nothing. Um, and I say this because here's what a lot of people do. They'll make their first chunk of money and then they go out and buy things that they never had growing up or never had in life. And I get that urge. But the smartest thing you can do instead is take that money. Let's say you made 200,000 your first year that you finally dialed it in and got it, figured out. Instead of going and buying a new car or upgrading your home, which is the two things that usually happen somewhere in there, or they go on a bunch of trips, or they buy something that they've always wanted, like, something of pretty decent value or at least expense. And then they blow that money, like crazy. And it's because they get to now finally do all the things that they dreamed of doing that they couldn't do. Da, 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 da. The best thing you can do though is hold out another 12 months and take that money and just buy talent, buy a video editor, buy an admin person, buy a funnel builder for you, buy somebody that can write your emails for you. Because, and I'm talking about our business here where we're teaching people, like the thing that I should be doing only, if we're being honest here, is I should be creating course content and creating marketing content. That should be all I do. I don't edit. I don't post it. I'm not writing like emails. I should be able to take a copywriter and be like, here's the video that I want to email to people. can you create the email or write this email to send to them? But for me, what I do is it's like I just minimize, which is typically what people want anyway. I just minimize what um, I'm instead of making the email this beautiful copywritten masterpiece, which I'm sure would maybe do better. I don't know. Um, I just keep it simple and let the video inside of it be the power. And I lean into my power, and to me, what I think my power is being able to communicate, like communicate ideas, communicate, how to do something, um, walking somebody through something, creating that kind of stuff. But another thing that I would do is I would just grab a lot of my course content. If I didn't have batched content already, I just grab all my content that I had, and I would just give it to somebody on Fiverr, and I would just have them create as much as I could. And I would even go as far as like getting somebody to post, because it's so easy to use Fiverr, or any of those things. Fiverr's just cheap. Um, Upwork is the better one, but it's, 10 times more expensive to get the same thing. Well,
Yeah, if you have time, I think it's called Online Jobs PH. You can
yeah.
hire people from the Philippines and stuff. The only thing is like you have to have the time to like make sure they understand what you want.
Yeah,
But
I've
they're
used
like
them.
an interview 'em.
Yeah, I've used them. Virtualstaff.ph is the one I use. And it's just you put a job out there and you get like a million things back. And then it's like you spend more time doing,
Interviewing them.
yeah. But that's the process you do have to go through. When it comes to like teaming out, that's the process you have to go through. I mean, I had, at one time, shit, when I was 20 years old, I had like 35 employees. But uh, when I was doing this, I had some people that were doing stuff for me. And the best thing to do is give up more profit to get somebody that doesn't need to be trained,
Hmm.
because it'll come back in droves. Like it doesn't. That's the thing about business. It doesn't pay 1 to 1. It's like 1 to 100. And I plan on doing that. Like this year, I want to build a team just because I want a team. Like I want to help people. Like when I look at a team, I don't look at it as like, oh, you work for me. Like I look at it as like, look what we could do together to make something super badass so we all make more. And it's like, I'll do my part, you do your part. Let's work together. I'll give you pieces of the pie. So the pie gets bigger, your piece gets bigger. And it's like, um, that's the next thing I want to get to. I want a small team, just a small team. I want it to be under, my team will probably be, when it's fully filled out and all that jazz, it'll probably be, you know, under 10. It'd be like 10 and under. Because all you really need is, I need a video editor. I need an admin person that basically handles like, the finances, like an accountant. Okay. And then like an admin person. So I'd have somebody that would be managing all the other people. So I would just work with the call it the COO, like the operations manager. And then the operations manager would be working with the team, and then I would communicate with the operations manager, and then that person would make sure that the accountant is doing all the accounting things. Um, the video editor, I'd have a copywriter on staff, and then I would have somebody that can, um, do like I, I would probably find, yeah, I probably have, somebody that could do the copywriter would be doing all like the posting type stuff, the emails, the posts, maybe script writing some of the stuff if it was like a VSL or something, like working with ChatGPT. Um, and then the video editor could do audio, video, and they would work with the copywriter. I'd have a customer support person inside of the build lab, making sure that like people are getting their questions answered.
Yeah, I guess part of the nice thing is like because you're already building a community of people that are helping other people. If you ended up having an emergency, you could
Yeah.
reach out to your people and be like, okay, I need help with this.
Community's
Uh,
powerful, man.
yeah.
It really is. And all you have to do is start building one. Like get one person, then you get another person, and you just gotta communicate. This is the biggest thing. Like when you're brand new, always, but when you're brand new, just you have to communicate. Like, guys, yeah, you're the only one. I just started, brand new. You're the only one. So, enjoy while you can. Like right now, if we had a shitload of people on here, we couldn't even be talking like this. It would be it'd be smashed, right? And it will get that way. I've done this, before. It's so funny, like what I'm doing now, because I took a completely different approach to this. Before I was like, gotta make $1 million. I wanted to cross that goal. I was gung ho as hell. Like, and I still feel that way. I feel even more gung ho now, but I'm coming at it. I'm like, I slowed down to go fast is what I did. And so like right now I'm really like laying things out and doing things the way I really want them to be. I'm not running any ad stuff. Like if I have a post that pops a little bit on TikTok, I'll throw like, $50 behind it or something, $20, $100. And it doesn't do a whole lot. I mean, I'll get a sale maybe from it here or there, but the main punch is live. Get a lot of sales from that. I'm still like making really good money. I've got a nice recurring revenue with Build Lab. And then these little pocket sales, these are pretty good. These little like live sale things like that, they do really good. It gets people excited, it gets people in. So yeah. But I do want to answer questions. I do have this one thing that I notice with people is if they have an idea and they want to get started and they want to get moving and they want to get going, the next thing is like they have no idea, and naturally they have no idea what do I do next. It's like how do I open the doors or how do I turn on the lights for business? And it's like I was kind of talking about that today on the live, but what do you guys want to talk about? Like so I'll just tell you, like when I was in these earlier stages, which I'm in an early stage all the time with other stuff, I'm like learning other things and doing other things. But when I would get on things like this, just to tell you like what I do, like I was bombarding person with questions, like to a point where it's like, all right, Mike, let somebody else ask a question. That was a normal thing that I got responded to all the time. I would take over until they pushed me off. But I always tried to help them, like Jenny, you do an incredible job. Like you help so much. Like you've helped so much. It's crazy. It's just incredible. But I always was like, I would think of anything that I was dealing with, and I didn't care. Stupid questions didn't even like all my questions. I just didn't even care. I'm like, if I'm not asking a question, I'm not going to get the freaking answer. And if I don't know what it is, I got to freaking ask. It's like I was never scared of that. I don't know. I was the only child, I guess. Maybe that was what it is. And I'm just crazy.
Well, I definitely don't want to like. I always have a hard time. Like I'm like, am I saying too much? But then I can't help it because I'm like, if I don't say it, then it's gonna drive me nuts until I say it. Yeah. So, but I also, if like Ian or Craig have something, just interrupt me or tell me to shut up. I will. But I think one thing that I would love to know is more about Skool. Like, I know you said Sam Ovens and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And you were the first person that I've ever heard about Skool, and then I started hearing it more because of the Alex
yeah,
Hormozi
he
thing.
invested in it.
Yeah, and then I've heard a lot about GoHighLevel because I'm not probably ever going to switch from Kajabi just because I have a founding account. So as a founder, I have like a lot of perks with it and a really good price. But I've heard so many good things about GoHighLevel, and Kajabi isn't perfect. So I'd love to hear what you're like, why you really like GoHighLevel, because I have no problem having both,
Yeah. I mean, I'm paying for a ton of those softwares, like it's like on the farm, you got to pay for diesel and tires and like grease and shit. It's just part of the game, you just end up having all this stuff that you pay for. But excuse me. So the reason I like GoHighLevel, the number one reason that I do enjoy it's just like ClickFunnels. It's just like most of these tools, right? They all kind of copy each other and learn from each other. So they're all kind of, it's kind of like cars on the road. They all kind of, have the same kind of features or something. But with GoHighLevel, you can white label it. And I think that's cool. I'm not using it. Um, I'm on 20 acres with goats and chickens. Oh yeah, I know all about that stuff. So you know, I think that GoHighLevel so far it's pretty good. It's got its own quirks and problems and stuff. I think the easiest thing in the world to use is System.io. Honestly, I probably wouldn't even be using GoHighLevel right now if if I wouldn't have had the domain hiccup that I had. That just pushed me into high level right away because it was the next thing that worked for me. And it wasn't System's fault. This was not a System.io thing. I called GoDaddy and something went silly with the domain, and it was like my website was down. I was like, well, shit, I can't have my website down. So I just went to GoHighLevel and had to stay up all night trying to figure out the quick ways to use it, which is thankfully close to ClickFunnels. I was a big ClickFunnels homeboy, and I love Russell and all those guys, but they turned it into something I didn't really enjoy using for whatever reason. It was just so much weird stuff, but it's not a bad thing either. I don't think it matters all that stuff, right? If you can, I could make just as much. I mean, I'm literally like right now, I'm just using my freaking email. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I've got Skool. Yeah, I could just use Skool. It would just things I'd have to change things a little bit, the way I did it. But if I had Stripe in Skool, I could just an email, I could do it. Um that and I guess that kind of the way to answer your question, the way that comes into this is just this. Like if you understand this, I will pound this into people's souls until they get this because once you understand this process right here to a T, like you really you fundamentally know and understand this machine right here, you can make as much money as you ever wanted to make.
Right.
Because
With Skool, is it pretty easy to set up? I've started watching the pocket coachings and stuff. But then, I get distracted because you have a different name on a different title and I want to watch that one first. So that's how my brain goes. But how have you noticed a difference between school communities and like Facebook groups? Because
oh yeah.
I've had lots of success with Facebook groups, but I also know that Facebook groups are not always they have their own issues, and there's a lot of people that just freaking hate Facebook, so they're not even on there anymore.
Well, yeah, the problem with going to a social media platform that is designed to like keep you on it and drag your attention all over the place to keep your dopamine dripping. The problem there is like you know that's what's going to happen when you're trying to communicate with them and do things with them. They're getting all these like weird ass like you know notifications and all this stuff. And so with Skool, that's why I love Skool. And like Sam is like anti Facebook, so because it's a pain in the like it distracts people. So if you look at this right here's Build Lab, right? So if I wanted to set up a classroom, like watch this, I can come down here and I can go new course, and I can put the course name, course description. I can say everybody has access, only some people have access, or if people hit a certain level in the leaderboards, they have access. Then I can add a picture, and then I'm done. So like I've got something at least that far right here. I'm going to do this Build Lab workstation thing because somebody asked to put all the resources in one place, and so I'm just going to be like, here's all the funnel stuff, here's all this stuff. And so look, once you set it up, like once you do that little thing that we just did, this right here, where we put the name, course description, this, okay, and you click add, the next thing you see is this. It looks like this. So I can change the name of this. Come in here, I can change the name. And then if I want, look, I can add a new module or a new set. So think of a set as like a pillar. This is a set and this is a module. And then I just click the pencil here, add a video. add description, and then I can add a resource link, a resource file, and a transcript, and I'm done. And I click save, and it's in there. And I can just drop a Loom video in here. It's a piece of cake. And then it's in there. And then it just pops in like this. It just looks like this. And then when they go through it, it's just you've got your sets and your modules, and that's it. You don't need nothing else. What else do you need? And
I
then the
can't think of
community.
anything besides like getting people onto the community, but I think since
Well,
it
you
has an
just you
app, you
just tell
just
them to
gotta,
go.
yeah.
You just give them the link to go there. Just be like, go. Let's go. Join me. But see how they're like when you're in here, look, there's no distractions.
Hmm.
There's nothing bing, bong, bang, bang. There's none of that crap.
They don't
It's
have their
just,
mom tagging them in something or yeah.
yeah, it's like, but it's just, those machines are designed for that. And then you can come in here and you get like your notifications, you know? And it's like you got your messages. You can put a link up here in this. That's all you need. You can see who's on. And then if somebody joins, you can come in. Well, there's you. You can come into their membership level and you can just, sorry, I didn't mean to put your email out there, but um, you can go to
It's
courses
a,
and you can unlock their courses. And so you can come down here and like, how it says like some people have access? That's how you can give access to people. Like you can come in here and be like, you can give them access to whatever. You got access to everything, but and then that you can see their subscription if they have a subscription with you, like if they're paying like if they're going through Skool and they pay that way, and then you've got questions that they can answer, and then on this about page you can come in here and put in a video, and then it shows this stuff. You can put like a description down here, shows how much it is. They can watch a video about it, and then they can join.
so two things that I have. One, do you have a video on how to navigate Skool for your first time users that you could send like they when they first sign up, like it'll send it to them and be like, hey, this is how you navigate, this is how you like make sure you start here and introduce yourself and all that. Do you
Yeah,
have one
so
of those already?
yeah, so you can go let's see here. Oops. You can
And then
go. Oh, sorry.
while you're looking that up, for you to, because I know that they're doing the, what's it called, like the school
Skool games.
games, yeah, that to get into those you would have to be having your subscriptions come to Skool, right?
I mean, that's the way I took it, but I think there's a way to do it otherwise. So, like, I think that, so if you go, so this is, by the way, the first question you asked about like how to use Skool and stuff. So if you go to the Skool community, which is a free community, it's a public group. If you come in here and you go to the classroom, it's like Skool 101, and he's got how to use Skool. Welcome to Skool, how it works, creating your group, inviting members, customizing a group, creating a course, calendar, common patterns. Okay, and this is, Sam showing you how it works. And then there's another one in here. I don't know if they're all unlocked, but like here's some Skool subscription features. And then if inside of like Build Lab, hold on here. Inside of Build Lab, you can create like if you're asking about um like how people can start with, when they come into Build Lab, like what to do, then you can go and do like in the classroom, you can create like a getting started. And then you can have like, watch this first, do, you know, and you can just put whatever you want in here. Like if I wanted to put another thing in here, I can just come down here, do this, duplicate this one. There it is. I can hit edit, delete this out of here, put whatever I want in here. It's a draft right now. And then I can, say whatever. Drop the video link in there. You can use YouTube, Vimeo, Loom, or Wistia. and then you got all these controls to put whatever you want in here. And then I add the transcripts and everything because when you're inside a build lab, I try to put as transcripts as much as I can. Let me cancel this and I'll delete this. When you're inside a build lab, you can come up here to the search and put like VSL funnel, and then any members that talked about it, or anywhere in the community that it's talked about, or you can click on classroom, and then anywhere it was mentioned in the classroom, you can find all this stuff. I don't think this stuff goes to anything anymore. Yeah. That was back in the day. So there's that, right? Is that what you meant by like a getting started type thing?
Yeah, I think that it makes sense. I
Yeah.
think that would be nice to know when you first join to go check that out. Only because like when I got in there, I was like, what the hell am I looking at? Because I'd never been on Skool before, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And but yeah, no, that's really helpful because I'm definitely gonna go check out all of Skool's community stuff. And I've been watching your getting started stuff too.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just easy. Like all people need is, a place to get like any kind of resource files and then the video. And then I like just how the community is like right here and it's so simple. Like you can't get too like it's look how simple this is, you know? And I just love how it's got like this little gamification in here. Um, which I fear for people now that you're in here. Let's see.
I like the leaderboard because
Well,
as an overachiever, I'm like, I gotta get number one every freaking time because that's who I am as a person.
so I'm
But
gonna unlock see all these like levels here. You can come in here and you can on all these levels, you can create so you can like so what you can do is I could come in here and let's say that in the classroom, let's say that this lead loom profit funnel that I need to finish. Um let's put got a better update. Okay, February 24th. Okay. I know I'm terrible. Okay, let me save this. So, God damn it. Oh, there we go. That changed it. Okay. So let's say that I wanted this course to open when somebody hit like level 3 or something. I can come in here and go to edit course, and then all members have access. I could say members of a certain level, and then I can choose what level I want it to open. And so what you do is you would create something really like juicy that people want really bad. Like you'd create a badass training and you'd put it at like level, 5 or something like this. So if I do this and we now go to the leaderboard, look what it says. Lead loom profit funnel opens up when you hit level 5. So people would have to get to level 5, to get there. So if we look at like we go to Chuck here, he's at level 6, so he would have access to it. Um, but Josh, he's newer, maybe he's not there yet. But every time that somebody posts in the community, like if I go in and if you post in the community, if I go in here and if I like this, he's getting points for this. So if you put something cool in here and people start liking it, then you're going to start getting points. And I do. I mean, if I like seeing people, helping each other, and he did actually do some really awesome stuff. There's you. So every time you click that, it raises your points. And then, as you complete this ring here, it just keeps leveling you up. So, goals that I have are I want to create a training at every level here that people get. You go in and shut this off before I forget. But you just come in here like that. It's that simple. So edit course, and then I can come back in here and I'll just put all members have access, save, and then it should be off of there now. Yeah. And you can name these however you want. I just put a bunch of like names in there. But yeah, and then you can do cool stuff for the top like 5 is what I guess I'll do. So like the top 5, I wanted to do something. You know, I got to come up with something. Um, so yeah, and then if you want to pin people's posts up here, like if somebody's doing cool stuff, I like to pin it to the top. You know, people like that. It's like it's a little bit of like good job. You know,
Mhm.
so
So the way you get points is like through people liking your stuff and you commenting and you posting.
no,
Is it
just
also
people.
from
Nope, it's only if people like your stuff.
only if people like your stuff?
Only
Got
if
it.
people like your stuff. So Craig says, "Can I ask Jenna a question?" Of course you can. What are you selling, or how are you monetizing your consulting? I know what Mike is doing, but I'm wondering how other people are using Mike's training to earn. Thank you.
Okay. So, um, I am currently in, and I've posted this in the MakeOnes community. I am currently on a break right now. I have been a consultant for many years, and what I normally did was I took clients that wanted. I essentially did what Mike's doing on a lower scale of how many clients I would take. I didn't actually make it for myself, which is like taking myself for that. But anyways, I've charged my clients like 6 figures to essentially get them from their platform to having a working website, funnels. Um, I've helped them overcome like their procrastination and actually create the courses and create the content, gather a team to work together. And so that way they're able to just get content on all the platforms. Um, but what I really specialized as a consultant, and I still do, is going into any kind of business or any kind of platform where someone's wanting to learn or find the areas and spots where they're not maximizing their monetization, and then finding ways for them to just explode with making more money. And usually I like to do it in like a monthly recurring way. Um, so with using Mike's stuff is like I found Mike and I really appreciated not there's a lot of people out there saying lots of stuff, but Mike's gonna not get the fluff around it or gatekeep his information. And I really appreciated that. And I wanted like to see what other platforms are working and excelling and to keep myself accountable. So I'm using Mike's information to also keep myself accountable to actually make it for myself now. Because
Yeah.
although I could get more clients and charge them all 6 figures to because like my last client, we made 7 figures in less than a year for her. I could do that because who's not going to pay that to get set up and like be able to go? But I freaking hate it because I know how much I give of myself, and then I'm losing time out with my family, and I know I could be making it for myself, and I feel like I'm doing a disservice to my family by not doing that. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
And what is Ian asking about 150 a month?
No, I was just wondering if Skool was 150 a month. I saw that somewhere, and I just wanted to confirm. That's all.
Yes, 99.
It's 99 bucks
Mm-hmm.
to have the full community unlocked and all that.
To have Build Lab. Yeah,
Hmm.
you could 99 a month and yeah, you can do everything.
Okay.
That's one, that's one customer basically would pay that, pay that back if you're doing it.
On your live this morning, you said it didn't take long or it wouldn't take long to build a build lab or whatever, right? Like a
Oh,
community, but
yeah.
like I never really did get an answer of like just how fast it would be and like the nuances of it all.
Yeah, so when I said that, I was saying like um when I built Build Lab, there was no modules done. There was nothing. I had the outline of the modules and that was it. And there was nobody in the community. And I started posting on social media about it. That's it. And then you get one customer, and then you get another customer, and it's just how it goes. And it went very slow. I mean, and I didn't treat it properly. Like, I didn't give it the love that it deserved, and I didn't go hard with it. Like, I'll be completely honest. Like, when I started, I was like, now it'd been different if I was like, if I needed money, it'd been a completely different thing. But I had built a little bit up, at that point. So I didn't, but that's no excuse. I should have, that's no excuse at all. I should have just went as hard as hell. Um, but like, I will tell you, you can go from zero, and I know people are going to think I'm full of shit, but like, you can go from nothing to, so when I started selling courses, I had never sold a course. And by month 3, I was doing over 150,000 a month. And the first month I went into it, I made like $22,000. I just did it. I didn't know I had no idea what I was doing. I had no course built. I sold it for $19.97, and I just talked about it, and I knew I was going to do it. So I was just confident in it. And I knew the moment I got a customer, I was going to give them everything I got. And, I had been learning, how to do funnels, and I knew how to post on social media, and I knew how to record videos and stick them in a thing. But that was pretty much all I knew. And I understood business to the extent of attract, convert, deliver. And I was going through a course that was teaching me that stuff. And I was just, everything I'd learned in that course, I would transfer over into my own course. And I tell people, like, if you want to do what I do, then do what I do. Just take what I'm teaching you and start teaching it. Start doing it. And but the difference is, here's what most people do. They'll pretend that they know, and they don't know. So I didn't do that. I just said, hey guys, when you join for $19.97, I will teach you how to set up a funnel. I will teach you how to set up a course. I will teach you how to post on social media, and I'll teach you how to do follow-up emails. And if you do all that stuff and you have something to sell that people want, you will sell it. I didn't promise them jack shit. That's what I promised them. And that was it. And then I just started selling it. And if somebody, I see your question, Craig. Good question. If somebody would have gotten like, oh, this shit sucks, man, screw you, I'd have been like, well, I'll give you your money back. And if I didn't have the money to give it back to them, then I would just tell them. Because in the beginning, every money that I made, I had to pay bills with. So I couldn't even have gave them their money back, truth be told. Like when I very first got started, if somebody would have asked for their $2,000 back, I wouldn't have been able to give it to them because it was already spent before they even gave it to me. And I would have just told them, I'd be like, well, I don't have it to give it to you. So I'm going to have to just pay you back over time. Or if I get a new customer, I'll just give you the money. What else can they do? Sue me? Come over and shoot me? Get in a fight with me? I'm just being honest. It's the best policy, and just tell people. Like right now, if I wanted to, it's like, I wish there's a part of me that wants to just be like, I want to do a thing where it's like, and I think we can do it. I'll make it like a game or something. So it's not like, it doesn't fuck with my brand or anything, but I want to just be like, all right, you guys make something up that I can sell. Right. And we'll see what I can do. We'll run it for a month and see, if I'll still run my build lab, all that stuff, but it's like, let's see if I can't sell a cucumber course by the end of February. You know what I mean? And it's like, without lying and without making shit up, I would literally just study cucumber shit. Or what I would really do, knowing what I know now, I would just go find somebody that's an expert on cucumbers every day. I would be reaching out. I would find all the cucumber experts on YouTube, and I would ask them if I could interview them. And that's what I would do probably first and foremost, or any of this. Like I would go to everywhere, anywhere, social media, anywhere. And I would just and I would try to every day get an appointment with them. And then I would say like, what would it cost for me to, interview you and ask you questions about cucumbers? And then I would have a course. I wouldn't even worry about being the first. And really, if you really get down to it, that's the way to do it. Like if I wanted to start any kind of program outside of what I knew, I would just go find the experts and interview them and have them give me the content, and I would stick it in a place that people can buy it. No different than if you go in and buy a freaking McDonald's. McDonald's is giving you all the juice. You're just standing there and collecting the money and making sure the damn thing doesn't explode. You're not it's no different. You look at everybody. They got a job. They don't know shit about apple butter, and then they go to work at some apple butter plant, and they teach them about apple butter, and then they start doing apple butter shit, and then they pay you per hour. How's it any different here? But just do what you love to do. Like what could you talk about all day? Like Ian, for real, like what could you talk about all day, every day?
Honestly, I've always wanted to make money online and like put systems to work, but
Nah, fuck that. Listen to me. Nobody says
yeah,
that when they're little. Nobody's like, oh, I want to make systems and do bullshit. Like, no, fuck, no, you don't. God damn it. If I gave you $1 million every month and you didn't have to do that shit, you wouldn't do it. You know what you probably want? You know what I'd do? I would have a YouTube channel where I blow shit up all the time. I'd have a YouTube channel where like, let's see what happens if we stick a pipe bomb on the side of this propane tank, and we'll watch it in slow-mo and blow it up. Like that's the shit I would do. If I could make what I'm making now, blowing stuff up at like doing random shit like that, crushing things like with a like I love experiments like that. That's what I would do. Like brother said, poker. So to go into poker. You know how many people want that?
I could talk about poker, yeah, but I also like buying back time from corporate America. That's pretty good too.
What do you mean?
Well, just like I don't want to be stuck in that rat race. It's never really resonated with me. And if I can make money online or like from my phone or whatever, because I feel like this phone can do it. That's when I stumbled across your stuff. But like any money I make from my phone, I don't have to work a 9 to 5, and it's kind of
Well, that's what you
a
want to
goal of
do,
mine.
because it's like, yeah, that's a goal, but that's not what you want. That's not the thing that is it's like, what's going to get you out of that is you going passionate crazy on something. Like I grew up around farming. My uncle had a business, my grandma had a business, my mom had a business, and they all had business friends. So it's like that, like subconsciously growing up as a child, I just heard about problems in business, and I didn't even know I was hearing problems in business, because when they were talking at the dinner table, they were talking about, well, Sally stole from the treasury, and or Bob broke the bandsaw today, so we had. It's just like I think I just grew up in that, and my grandpa was my dad because I didn't have a dad, so it was like he was this older guy that was a farmer, so I got all my stuff from him, which is why I'm like that, probably, like it was like all I heard was that stuff. So I really did like it. I was like, it was always like, what can I make and sell? That was always kind of like what it was, because that's what my grandpa did. He would make stuff and sell it. And it was like, cool. So,
I have no
what
idea
is
what
it that you really
problem I've
like?
solved. Well, I
Like,
like poker and all that, but I don't know what problem I would solve playing poker.
well, it's not, you wouldn't solve a problem playing poker necessarily. What you would actually do is, how do you play poker? Could you show somebody how to make an extra $100 a month playing poker?
No. You play
What
poker? No.
what is something that you could show somebody how to do? Like confidently, you could teach somebody this.
Well, I brainstormed roadmaps on how to make money online and like
Okay.
what you do, like sell or turn your advice into money or passive income or what have you.
Okay. So why don't you do that? Be like, I've studied the shit out of this. I've watched 45 million videos. I'm in this like, I get on workshops with people that do this professionally. I'm in a pocket coaching thing, or I'm in this, or I'm in that, or I'm in this, and just explain that to somebody. And
Well,
then,
I'm putting all the things into motion and everything right now, so I'm about to like flip the switch on. But
yeah,
I think I said in your live, like doubt's a bitch. Yeah.
it's like, what's the worst that could happen? You're in the exact same spot you're in now.
Yep. Pretty much.
Can you deal with that? Because you're dealing with it right now.
Yep.
So the worst thing, there's nothing that can happen bad. Like, what could happen bad? Nothing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Fair enough.
if I got on every one of your lives and I was like, Ian, you're a dumbass, you're stupid, I hate you. After a while, you'd be like, there's Mike again, freaking prick. Anyway, guys, so what I was saying is, it's like you would just,
Mhm.
there's nothing that you could be scared of. It's like,
Yeah. I see how you deal with people that come in there and
I
try to take
shouldn't.
over, so to speak. And
Yeah. Well, I shouldn't act the way I do. Like I act kind of immature on it. Like the other day somebody was talking shit on like a comment and I like went crazy on it. But I s-
I think it's refreshing. I love it.
I
It's
did too.
authentic, is what you talk about, right?
I'm like, fuck, dude, fuck it. Like, you want to be a dipshit, then I'll make an example out of you. It's like I
Hmm.
don't really care. Like if you don't like me, then there's a million other people you can listen to. You know what I mean? I want to read your brother's. So, Mike, if you were to restart from scratch and were completely green and new to this, what course would you make to start off with, and what price point would you choose? Thank you. Okay. So, if I were to completely start off, no list, no nothing, what would I do? Well, I really I like to fish. I like to shoot guns. I like to build things. I like to weld. I like to do stuff. I like to kayak. I like to camp. I like to climb. I like to eat at nice restaurants. I am like I like to do everything outdoors. I like to golf. I like to drive equipment. I like to blow things up. I like to paint. Like I'm a very I love art. I'm creative. So what I would probably do though, I would probably do one of two things. Number one, I would try to probably create a YouTube channel where I love making videos too. I really do enjoy making videos. Like I like using the because I like technology stuff. Like that's why I have all these goofy ass like lights and like all this shit because I just love this stuff, right? Yeah, I mean, I like to paint. I like to I painted this. This is my little. It looks better from way far away up. It's like I love ocean views like this. Like this is actually a vacation we went on. But I like to. I'm not good at any of this stuff. I just like to do it. I love sound. I love subs and speakers, and I like making nice things and welding things, like all this stuff, right? So I love space and all that shit. But what I would probably do is number one, I would probably try to create a YouTube channel where every day I would be like doing some kind of borderline super risky kind of like experiment. Like, hey, I love the channels where they're like, we're gonna crush this Rolex watch, and they have like a hydraulic press and they're just like crushing something and they got millions of views. And I know that they're making several thousands of dollars off of a video because it's entertaining. It's like, who would crush a $5,000 watch? Probably somebody that's going to make $10,000 crushing it. So it's like, I love that idea, or blowing stuff up. Like, I love those channels I'm talking about. We're going to shoot this flaming bow and arrow into a propane tank like, I love that shit. Or we're going to drop this off of this building to see, because that's what we did growing up. I lived on the farm. It was like there wasn't a bunch of cool shit to do. You like climbed up on top of the grain elevator and threw a TV off of it and watched. That was like a lot of fun. So or you'd shoot propane tanks, or you would like do crazy stuff, you know, dig a hole. How deep can we dig this hole? You know? So I would either do a YouTube channel like that, or I would probably teach somebody how to make stuff out of metal, because I really like doing that, and I'd get to do what I love to do while I'm teaching it to them. I would, and I'm picking things that are not business, because that one, you know, that's what I'm doing now. I'd probably just find anything that I love to do, and I would teach people how to do it, because I know that all I need is 1,000 people to give me $1 a day, and I'll make $30,000 a month. And from there, I'll take that money and make more money with it. Because you can, at about 30,000, it really, like at about anything north of 50,000 is like really life-changing. You know, because after you pay taxes on it and all that horse shit, you've still got plenty to have a nice car, nice home, and well enough left over to pamper yourself and all that horse shit. So, but really, I want to make as much money as I can possibly make, because I feel like I'm just in a video game, and it's like there's nothing really stopping me. So it's like something has got to be the scoreboard or the points or something. Like I've got to play with something. And I'm like, the more money I make, you know, I want to go to space. Like that's one of my goals. Like I really want to go to space. So I'm like, well, that's probably going to cost $250,000 or something if I want to get a ticket to go to space. Hopefully it comes down in price, you know, but I want to go to space. I want to see Earth from like space. But I would just try to make as much money as I can so I could buy more cool stuff to, you know, demonstrate or show people stuff or whatever. Bro, you can't go. What? Why? What? So, you
They're
know,
lying.
huh?
They're lying.
Oh, you can't
But
go
what
to
is it?
space?
No, you're talking to something. Anyway,
Conspiracy.
what does it feel like to what does it feel like to make $1,000,000?
Honestly, like it doesn't feel any different than when because like I said, after 50, 60 or set, like you can't spend it all in a month anyway, unless you go be stupid, right? Like you could blow $1 billion today if you wanted to. You could go buy like a freaking building in New York or something, right? But like, it doesn't feel any different than, yeah, I would love to hang out with Elon. You can take a U-2 spy plane, I think, and go up there, unless you're like a flat earther. Then you can't, I don't think, or something. But it doesn't feel any different. Like after the first chunk, I think the coolest feeling is that first one that's like more than like 10 grand a month for me. Cause like 10 grand a month was always the number. Like if everybody's like, if I could just make 10 grand a month. And then that first month that you make like way over 10 grand. I think the coolest feeling I ever had was my first like 100K month. I was like, whoa, what I always wanted to, what I thought was rich to make 100 grand a year, I did in a month. And that was that first like boom feeling. And then it's always fun when you're making like a lot of money, because it's like it's fun to watch. Like, wow, you feel this power of like you feel this sense of like, I could buy like some really cool shit, or you're like, I could like really make something happen here. I could like hire like 3 people that could like do something crazy, you know. Or I could like build a machine or a system, or I could like go somewhere, you know. But you know, after you've seen a bunch of beaches, they all start to look the same. After you've been to a bunch of nice hotels, they all seem the same. They're always nice. It's always like, oh, this is nice. It's like better than, not having it. Once you buy like a nice watch or something, once you buy like a nice car, then like a month later you forget you're even driving a nice car. But it's always nice. It's always better than not having it. It's way better to have a bunch of money than not. Anybody that tells you that otherwise, they're fucking stupid and dumb. Like they've never had it probably. You feel powerful. You sleep different. You literally sleep different. Like you literally sleep different. And then when you've got enough where you don't have, everything could get fucked up and you'd be still cool. You'd have enough for a year, like at some place or whatever. Everything changes there. So it's amazing. It feels it's fantastic. You should get there, and you can. It's not that far. Like, it's not that big a deal. And I want you to feel like that. I want you to act like, I don't want anybody to be like, oh, because that's stupid. Like, it's so stupid. Like, if you want to make a mill, like, think about this here. Okay. Let's pull this shit up. Like, this is for real. Okay. Here we go. If you want to make a mill, okay. I want to make $1 million teaching people how to play poker online. These people don't know how to play poker at all, and they are completely new. I want to sell them an online course that is $597. So there you go, Craig. $597. And it's okay, it's $597. I want to make this million by December 2024, and by December 2024. What would this course look like, and what would it be named, and what would be my sales message? What would be my sales message? How would I market this so that I hit my goal by December 2024? I don't want to run ads, so tell me that way. And then how many sales would I need per day? How many leads would I need per day? What type of funnel would I need to get these leads? What would be my sales pitch? What would I put on the sales page? What would be my lead magnet? Base this all off of the current market. I only have 4 hours a day to accomplish this goal. Tell me exactly what to do and list this result out in bullet format and make it simple, because I am very dumb and new. Okay? I don't think you're dumb. I just want this to be like, I want to just cut out all the sheet. You know what I mean? I got to turn this light off. It's literally like melting my brain. Poker Mastery, 0 to Hero. That's the name of the course. Okay? I got to turn this back on. Sorry. Course content: basics of pokers, rules, hands, etc. Strategies for winning, betting tactics, reading opponents, psychology of poker, managing emotions, bluffing, bankroll management, interactive quizzes and practice hands, weekly live play sessions with feedback. Ooh, that's good. Sales message: hey, if you want to transform from a complete novice to a confident poker player capable of winning in any online game, no prior experience needed, by the way, start dominating the tables in less than 30 days. So there's the sales message. Financial marketing plan. Goal: 1 million by December 2024. Course price: $597. Target sales: $1 million divided by 597 is 1,675 sales. Time frame: let's calculate from Feb 24 to December 24, so 11 months. Daily goals: Daily sales needed is 5 sales per day. If right now there was a man, scary man that you've never seen, like the scariest person you've ever seen in your life, and you knew they would kill you, they have a gun pointed at you, and they're like, the only way you're not going to die is if you get 5 sales a day of this course. You would do it. You'd get it done, right? I would. I'd fucking knock on every door there was. Leads needed, assuming a conversion rate of 1%, which is conservative for highly target niches, you would need 500 leads to make 5 sales. Cool. So I'd have to probably knock on, if it was gun to head, I would be doing at least 500. I would reply on social media. I would reply in comments, leaving value in comments, not asking them to do anything. I would just answer their questions in comments all day long, every day, on every possible place ever I could find. I would do at least 1,000 a day. So I would figure out how many do I need to do per hour to hit that goal each day, and you'd probably hit your goal in half the time. Marketing strategy with no ads. Content marketing. Starting a blog or a YouTube channel. Definitely a YouTube channel. Related to poker strategies, tips, and common mistakes. Focus on SEO to rank your content. And then I would ask it, what is the SEO content? Social media presence. Engage with poker communities on platforms like Reddit, Facebook, and Twitter. Share valuable insights and snippets from your course. You could even ask it how to create the course, and it'll create it for you. Email marketing. This will be your primary funnel and sales tool. Referral program. Encourage your students to refer others with incentives, such as free exclusive content or discounts on future courses. There you go. I mean, this is great. Funnel structure. Lead magnet. Offer a free ebook or video series. I would do a video series titled 10 Common Poker Mistakes and How to Avoid Them in Exchange for Email Signups. Pretty smart. Email sequence. Develop an email sequence that nurtures these leads by providing value, poker tips, success stories, and gradually introduces your course as the solution to their problems. I like it. Host a free webinar that offers genuine value, showcasing your teaching style and course highlights. End with your pitch for the course. Sound familiar? It's okay. Sales page essentials, testimonials from early students or beta testers. We were talking about beta stuff today. Detailed curriculum, highlight what makes your course unique, or have ChatGPT tell you. Author bio, establish credibility as an instructor. We can ask it. I've never done this before, so how would I establish credibility as an instructor? It will tell you. Frequently asked questions section, address common objections and questions. We can ask it, what are the common objections and questions for people new to playing poker that want to play poker and win with it? Please tell me, based off the current market. Money back guarantee to reduce the risk for the buyer. Execution plan. Daily time investment, 4 hours. Here's how your 4 hours are chopped up. Content creation, 1 hour. Community engagement, 1 hour. Email marketing, 1 hour. Course improvement, student interaction, 1 hour. Quick tips. Start as soon as possible. The sooner you start, oh God, big time quote. This is for real. The sooner you start, the more time for word of mouth to spread. Quality over quantity. Make sure your course genuinely helps people. Satisfied students are your best marketing tool. Track and adjust. Use analytics to understand what's working and what isn't. Okay, cool. Well, there you have it. Now, break down this course, exactly what each module would be and what I would teach in each module, and make it so it's irresistible to my ideal client. Okay. We will use some Grammarly here. Awesome. Into exactly. Okay. Hit enter. What is it going to say? Creating an irresistible online poker course involves structuring the content to progressively build the student's skills and confidence. Module 1, the fundamentals of poker. And then it tells us overview of poker variants. Okay. basic rules, gameplay, understanding. Next, setting up for success, essential poker terminology. So this is in module 1. Module 2, strategies for beginners, pre-flop strategy, post-flop play. You see what it's doing? Like, it's like you are now, because of this freaking wizard, ChatGPT4, you are now just the tool that delivers the information to people. Because what this thing does that we used to have to do that we don't have to do anymore is we can now just be the delivery mechanism. You have to be the actor, the teacher, the person delivering, right? And you have to be the supporter, the person that can support and be there, right? And then you have to literally realize that the thing you used to have to do, which was read a bunch of books, go through a bunch of processes and courses and mastery and all this stuff, and then you would synthesize that down and you would turn it into a course. Well, this freaking thing can scan the entire earth 1,000 times a second and get you all the information, and it can freaking do all that synthesizing for you. You just need to now apply it. And you can even tell people, hey guys, I used ChatGPT to create this poker course. And then I asked a bunch of poker players that are good at this to look at my course. And they said, yeah, it's pretty damn good. Like, this thing is like, look at it. It told me everything beyond the basics, mastering online play. And then I can literally say to it, this is 8 modules. I can literally say to it like this. I can go to this module 1 here, and I can go, I want to teach this course with a slide deck and voice over video. Can you turn this module into a slide deck and tell me exactly what to say and what to put on each slide so that it teaches them what needs to be taught? Keep this simple and easy for them to learn. Tell me exactly what to say and be as efficient as possible. Base this off the current market. I don't even know if I need to say that, but I do. And give me the results in the easiest to create format. I don't know. I've never said that before. Here's the module, colon, and I hold down shift and hit enter so I can skip lines without making this thing like take off. So if you hold shift, if I just hit enter, it'll send it. But if I hold shift, it'll let me do a line down, and then I paste that module that it gave me, and then I hit enter. Okay, and look what it does. It's like, create the slide deck for yada, 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 yada. Here's the breakdown. Slide 1, welcome to the fundamentals of poker. And it even tells you what the voiceover is. It says slide content, title slide with the course name and module title. And then it's like, welcome to Poker Mastery, Zero to Hero. In this first module, the fundamentals of poker, we will embark on our journey from novice to skilled player, starting with the very basics. Click slide 2. Poker is a captivating game combining skill, strategy, and a bit of luck, played in various forms around the globe. Today, we'll focus on understanding its core. Click next slide. You're recording a loom, by the way. Who can't do this? And it tells you what to put on the thing. And I could say, okay, look, it's still kicking these slides out. All you have to do is create it. But what I would do is I would take this here. First, I would take this here, and I would create a game. I would create a roadmap so I could show people this, and I would sell it to them ahead of time. Okay, and watch. You can even say, look, it gave us the whole thing, exactly what to say in the whole entire thing. It tells you, and exactly what to put on the content. And I could go like this. Like, I could take this right here, and if I don't know what kind of picture to find. Oh shit, I've got a bunch of chat comments. Sorry. Holy crap. My bad, guys. Just freaking, would you guys just yell at me here? I mean, for God's sakes, we're just sitting in a room together. Okay. Elon's going to be your bestie. That'd be badass. Okay. I agree. The first is 10K, but then 80, 90 months is thrill. Yep. Okay. Cool. Feel unstoppable. Cool. Beautiful course idea. You'll become a better poker player too. I could totally do this. Pocket coaching, a poker video every day. Yeah. Piece of cake. Fight Club. Yeah. Is it possible to send me this plan? Yeah, it is. I will give it to you. Okay. I will send this link to you. Thank you for being here. Oh, what's up, Jenna?
I was gonna answer Ian from a while back, when you were talking about how long it takes to build it, and just to add to what Mike said, because what Mike said was obviously right. But I wanted to add, if you're really interested in gaining an audience that also relates to you about wanting to get the fuck out of a rat race, and I think what you mentioned was you joined, I think it's called Roadmap, the digital marketing master resale rights thing or whatever it's called. You already know that there's a huge audience because that's been blowing up all over TikTok of people wanting to be able to do that. So what I would say is you take them through you building it. So if you're wanting to know how long it takes to build it, just personally, I can build an entire business in a week. Now,
Oh, yeah.
I'm not getting very much sleep if I'm doing it like really good. But what I would do if I were you, I would say I have a full-time, like I don't know what your job is or what you do, but just be honest with them, be like, I work full-time and I'm doing this in my off time, but I know how to do it because I've paid for the mentors in my life, and because it's doable, I'm going to show you how to do it and you can follow along in my journey.
Yep.
And then if you go ahead and just build it, just the foundation, because when they say like Rome wasn't built in a day, okay, but the foundation was built one day and then the next part was built the next day. And so all you would have to do is then like record yourself, be like, on my day off, I built my system with the funnel, and then I went ahead and did my Stripe, and I got my email. Like I searched and found out what name I want. Then I started like on my next day off, I built my community in Skool. And so if you just record yourself going along with that, because you are the kind of person that's wanting to get the fuck out of the rat race and you want to help others do that, then you can even like really lean into, say, I'm going to give you a realistic expectation on how long it takes because you're going to follow along on my journey. And then you like the questions that you're having, you're answering for others.
Yep.
As
And you
you
can
go
just
along.
build it. Yeah. And build it. My favorite way to build something is just build it live. I like to build it live with them. I'm like, hey guys, if I'm opening the doors on the bus for 2 weeks, and whoever's on the bus, when I shut the doors, you're going to be on the bus with me, and we're going to take this thing to where we're going, and we're going to build it together. You can either come or not.
Plus, I don't know if you guys have pocket coaching yet, but literally all you have to do, like if you're worried about the 27 a month or whatever it is, just cancel like your streaming for the month or whatever on all the, because most people have like Prime or they have Hulu and all these other things. Cancel them for a month, join the pocket coaching, watch his stuff, and then duplicate it because that's what he's telling you to
100%.
do.
Yeah.
And
I want you to. Yeah.
it literally, like all the questions that you have on how to do it is actually in his pocket coaching, which is, I think you're crazy for giving that much value, Mike. And I know that like if I had like a client that was doing that, I'd be like, what the fuck? You need to value your stuff. But I think it's also the thing that people are really loving because it is so refreshing to finally have something that has so much value and it's so affordable for anybody to step into. So
Yeah.
just
So
had to
here's
say
the
that.
crazy thing. I'll tell you the strategy with this, because I was very, so I don't know where I heard it, but they're like, if you're scared to give it away for free, that's the stuff you know you need to give away. And so I just said, screw it. I'm going to go hard. I'm going to freaking do it. And by the way, everything you said, Jenna, was spot on. I love it. It's a great job. So I just was like, I'm going to just give away the goods. I'm going to give it away. It's not going to be organized. I'm not going to go in there and organize it in the sense of like step 1, step 2, step 3. But it kind of is anyway, because I kind of do step 1, step 2, step 3 in each of the videos. But I just go in there, and then I know at any time I can crank the price up. At any time I could take that whole thing after 1 year, and there's going to be like 365 videos in there of complete unbelievable gangsterness. And I could literally sell that thing for God knows how much, right? And like, that's the way I look at it. I'm like, I'm getting paid a residual income to do something that I love doing, which I love creating that stuff. People are getting tons of value out of it. There's always going to be somebody new going, hey, I think I like online business. Like every day somebody's born, like tons of people, right? Every second. It's like, so I'm not worried about running out of people, and everybody's going to want to make money. So I'm like, some people will pay. And I'm like, but if it gets thousands of people, I mean, then yeah. I mean, it's already crazy, like what it produces. Like it's already like insane,
What I did with my
yeah.
last client is one of the things that I had an issue was her procrastination. Like it took her forever. And I finally was just like, she kept talking about hiring me. And I was like, just let me get started and let me show you what we can do. And so I did that because I just got frustrated. I didn't like waiting. But what we did was we created a community and had it be a paid community for $35 a month. And what I did was I told her, there's so many things that you can teach on this one subject. So what we're going to do is the ones that the people want the most, because that's what they're asking about, you just go in there and you make mini courses. And so each month it was like the first of the month, you'd get a video and a workbook with it. Second week, it was a video and a workbook. Third week was a video and a workbook. And fourth week was time for Q&A and feedback. Then what we did was I took that out of there and then put it on the website for more than what the monthly fee was. And there would be a new one. So people wanted to be in there every single month. And then she also had all these courses. And it's at, let me look at a calculator real quick, because it's over 1,600 people in there right now. And for 1,600 times 35, that is 56,000 monthly recurring revenue. And on top of that, the monthly, if she, there, so I think she has early onset Alzheimer's. So there's like a whole nother issue with that. But while I was still working with her, 56,000, and then just do the math, we were making like 134,000 a month because of those courses she took out and then just put on our website. So
And those
whether you do
people
it
will
profit
upsell
coaching,
like crazy. Like,
oh yeah,
I've had so many people upsell from the 27 a month. Like it's like, and that's what this micro course mastery thing is too. And like the micro event thing, like this is considered like a little micro event. I've went over, it's like an hour and a half now. I only want to go an hour, but each one of these I just throw on YouTube and they bring me a lot of money, and people get to see inside of this world. And even today, look, there's like, we've got what, 4 of us here, 3 plus me. And it's been a pretty valuable session, I think. And so like everything, yeah, I mean, it's just doing it. Somebody's going to do it. Somebody's going to have like, you guys risk every day going to work and doing that. Like, and like, look what I'm showing you here. Like, so here's all the content. One thing you can do is, if you don't know how to come up with these pictures, if you have ChatGPT4, I can take this and I can copy this. I can open it. I'll open another chat because I can't send it if I do images in it, but I can go to another one and I can say, create a 16 by 9 image that represents this information below. Colon, hold down shift, paste, hit enter. Okay. We'll let that create an image out of that can go on the slideshow. Back over here. I can then take this, copy, and I can say, let's see, slide gameplay structure, okay, a game of Texas Hold'em, voiceover. And I can always say, give me a short 15-second story. Well, come on, bruh. You piece of story I could tell that would help them understand this module. Colon, new line, paste the module it gave me, hit enter. Okay, so this is going to give me, so I could be like, imagine you're on a treasure hunt where each clue leads you closer to the treasure. In Texas Hold'em, our treasure is the winning hand. So the journey really begins with the pre-flop, where you get your first clue by looking at your two secret cards. Then the flop reveals 3 community clues on the table, giving you a glimpse of the potential treasure. Now, as the excitement builds, the turn and the river each add 1 more clue, making the treasure's location clearer. Finally, at the showdown, everyone reveals their paths to see who found the treasure. And each stage is a step closer to victory, with strategy and anticipation growing at every turn. I don't know if that helps, but it's pretty cool. If you put a little 30-second or 15-second story in each module, watch. Now, give me an example of this that helps people really understand this, that are new. And you just keep playing with ChatGPT like this for each module. So imagine you're at a big family dinner, right? So here it goes again. And you can add these stories, and then the people, guess what? Actually learn. And when they actually learn, they go, damn, this was really worth it. Oh, dude, you want to learn how to play poker? Listen, I bought this Craig's Poker's Finale.com course thing. I sold my mountain bike and a pair of my brother's shoes. I got to pay him back for those. But I got the money and I got in this thing. And dude, that's why I'm like winning at these poker games. And then that person does that again and does that again. But look at our picture here for the slide. Oh, dang. Look, it's river showdown. It shows the flop on here. Ace. Oh, this is cool. So there's the slide picture. Dude, I'm telling you, if back in the day, if I'd have had this when I started back in the day to do this shit.
This is so cool.
Dude, it's insanity.
I haven't used the photo generator yet, but do you know, are you allowed to use those photos for
100%.
selling stuff? Sweet.
It never creates the same thing twice. So this is your image now. Yeah. Pretty freaking badass. And then, so imagine you do that for each course thing, right? Your course will be so sick. And then you can be like, okay, how could I use this module you just did this for to make a TikTok that would promote this course and make the TikTok 30 seconds long? Tell me what to show on the screen and what to say to get more people interested. And I want them to get massive value from this TikTok as well. What do I create? And tell me with extreme detail. I said the other day, I said this like several times on these Zooms that you and I get on here in a few minutes, Jenna. But I literally tell people all the time, I'm like, I'm going to just create like a course and I'm going to use 100% ChatGPT for everything. Just so somebody can be like, oh yeah, I'll be like, dude, no, I did it. Look at this. It's like scene 1 from 0 to 3 seconds. Text overlay. Want to master Texas Hold'em? So that's the text overlay. And then upbeat background music starts. Okay. Voiceover. Ready to master Texas Hold'em? That's your hook with a question. The pre-flop. 3 to 8 seconds. Animation of 2 cards dealt to a player. Text overlay says pre-flop, your first clues. Start with 2 cards, your first clues to winning. You could just record this. Look at this. It takes you through each thing. I should start doing, I'm going to do this. Like, this gets me so excited because I love creating videos, and these would create the coolest videos. So awesome. Do you guys see this? Like, if you're not excited about this, then I don't know.
I think it would be really fun to have you do like promote and do a workshop showing you creating like what you were saying, like creating something on live on a workshop, because people are going to want to come and see and watch you create one live. And then you, like, in my personal opinion, what I would do is I would then like upsell them to pocket coaching and be like, by the way, because I'm doing this, watch my daily videos for the next pocket coaching, and it's going to show you like how I started this. You'll have the workshop video, and then you'll watch me sell this until I get 10K. That's what I would do. But
yeah, that'd be fun. No, that'd be fun
because people want to see you actually do it.
Yeah, it's like, and what I would do is I'd be like, and I'm going to do all of this completely with ChatGPT, so none of you have an excuse. And then like, I would create this, like, so what I would do is on my phone, I'd be going live, like I could be right now, right? That's what I should do. Like when I do these workshops, I should just be streaming live over here in the corner or like right here so that people can be watching. That's what I should have done. That's what I should have that's what I'm going to do. I need to start doing that. How stupid. Like I'm wasting this. But I put this on YouTube so it gets used again. But do you see like, look at this. I mean, it tells you what to do. If you did 3 of these a day on TikTok, and then you also, because they're only 30 seconds, you also put it over on YouTube and you put it on, because it doesn't take long. It's just like post. And you can ask it. You can be like, what would the description need to say when I post this so that it is SEO optimized for social media? It's just like, well, what do you want? Tell it that. It says, so the description would be, unlock the secrets of Texas Hold'em with our Poker Mastery 0 to Hero course. Transform from a beginner to a poker pro in no time. Whether you're looking to understand the basics to refine your strategy, this course has everything you need to win. Swipe up, click the link to start your poker journey. There you go. And then it gives you all the tags. And then the content that they're watching is the value. And then this just tells them what to do after they watched it. So you can either bake the pie or you can wait till you're ready to bake the pie. But nothing's going to happen to you. Oh, here you go. Let me take this link.
Are you going to do it, Craig?
Copy link. Here you go, Craig. I'm posting it in the comments. I would take this link and copy and paste it somewhere. Open it up on your phone or whatever. Click it and open it up so you have it. But I mean, was that helpful? I think this is helpful, right?
Of course. I think it's helpful.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I would be tripping if I seen, like, back in the day, like, oh my God, it's like so unreal. Like, it's so unreal.
I remember like in the early 2000s starting business stuff before there was any really like online stuff going on.
Like freaking Weebly.
Yeah. And this now, I don't know. I don't think I could have ever even imagined or guessed that this is something that we would have today.
No.
But it cuts and saves so much time and effort. And there's even more, like I'll tell you more on our call later. There's more automation tools to make your life like super freaking easy, where you don't even have to guess what you're going to do the next day. You just show up and you just do it. And I mean,
kind of like work. Everybody does it every day anyway.
But you can do it where you're at. Like for me, I'm out here barefoot in my front yard on the 20 acres, and I'm able to just like get everything that I need to get done with my 2-year-old. And I I don't have to have anybody tell me what to do. And
No,
because I don't like people telling me what to do.
I mean, it's what it is. Like it's as long as you have internet and a computer or a phone even. I mean, and it's like, here's the thing. Everybody has time to do this. Okay. I don't know anybody that works the hours. I mean, you can bullshit me all you want, but I mean, I've been alive long enough to know better. So, even if you worked a 16-hour shift, I mean, I would sleep for 4 hours, which is I can get by on 4 hours. It will suck. I'll have a headache and I will be bitching most of the time. But I sleep on average 5 hours and 37 minutes a night the last 5 years. That's my average, right? I have it like documented. Um, I would sleep 4 hours and then I would try to do I just would do whatever it took. I would work weird ass part-time jobs or something. Like if you want to do it, you can. There's nothing to be scared
And
of.
so when you spend all that energy and that time and that, like, people call, like, that moment that you sacrifice, like the sleep, or you sacrifice your time doing other things, all of that doesn't matter as soon as you start getting your first sales, because there's like a high that
Oh
comes with
yeah.
that, and you're just like fully re-energized.
Yeah.
And I would imagine, I've never done drugs, but I would imagine that's what it's like being a crackhead, being like, oh yeah, we got all this money. And so I
It
just
really
think,
is. It's a very, very addictive feeling. Like
yeah,
it's why people go nuts. It's like why people get all crazy with it.
so
Because it
fun.
is. It's like they just get addicted to that. Like imagine how it feels at the like when you win a big poker hand, you know? Now imagine you have like a controllable poker hand, like it wins all the time, like, and it's like doing something fun, you know?
Yeah. The one thing I wanted to add too, because you talk a lot about going live, is for the people, because I've joined a few of the lives from the people that are in the group.
Mm.
And um, one thing I might start, like, I might even post this in the group just to help people out. But if you go ahead and go to ChatGPT and you just have it help you pick, like, you say, pick the three
Mm.
subject lines and stuff. What I used to do is have my clients go ahead and just get a little whiteboard or get a little paper sign to hold up and say, "Hey, I'm recording this for YouTube," and they just talk about it, like they make their content while they're live, and then they can take that and it's easier to edit, and then they do Q&A after, be like, stick around for Q&A on this subject, so you don't really have to.
That's the whole point of this like make once thing. It's like you can make something
Yeah.
once and redistribute it and reuse it a million times or resell it a million times. Like it's so awesome. Like you're so right. That's why I always structure it the way I do there, but I'm not doing I just post it and it's still working and I'm not even editing it like or anything. And it's weird. Like people love it that way. I don't know. It's cool. I really love it. I'm very excited about it.
People also just use these in case, like, if you think it's not something that people are going to watch or whatever, because you're like, oh, people don't have time anymore. No, people can't get away from their screens. And I know this because I am that person. Because if I'm going to go do dishes or go do laundry, I need something playing. I cannot live without something playing in the background. Um, and some days I'll be doing it, I'll just be listening to the same audiobook over and over again. Or some days I need something that's a little bit more interactive and boosts my creativity. And stuff like this, like watching this raw and unedited, allows me to be like, oh shit, I need to go write that down. And sometimes I don't get all the laundry done because I'm like writing, I just start
Mhm.
brainstorming. And people will, like, it makes your life easier too, not to have to edit it.
I care about the people that care about it. That's how I think about it. I'm like, if you don't want to watch it all, then don't watch it all. It's like if you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. There's somebody does. I mean, we're doing it. Like we're doing it right now. We're creating it. And I mean, it's like, how it's like get around the right people. Like Craig and Ian and Jenna, like because we're in the right room together, we are getting better versus like you could be sitting there listening to the radio, you know, or something, like doing nothing. At least when you're around this, like you're getting yourself out there without even needing to like try. Like you're just because you're associated here, you're going to live on YouTube. Somebody 10 years from now could watch this. And if you are watching it 10 years from now, that is badass. Good for you. But somebody can watch this 10 years from now and it's like, it could help them. They could be like, holy shit, that is incredible. Or, you know, that's the way I look at this too. I'm like, when I'm 90, if I get there, right? Or like whatever age I get to, like crazy, you know, like 10, 20, 30, 40 years from now or whatever. It's so cool. You know, even when I die, like this is all out there. You know, I watch shit from like Alan Watts. He died back in the 50s. You know, I mean, we watch things all the time. It's like, it's making impact. It's crazy. And I'm like, if, you know, it doesn't matter anyway. When you're toast, you're toast. Like, I'm just like, if I can leave behind any kind of trail of dust that helps people, then that's better than not. At least this bag of flesh and bones and you know, craziness did something to add something that maybe somebody could do, you know, with. And it's like, that to me is like what it's about. So, but anywho. Well, listen, I got to take a break before my next one, Jenna. I got to like get up and walk outside and get some sun or something. And then I will see you guys next week on the workshop. If you guys have ideas for the workshop, you can email them to mike@makeones.com and we could cover them on the next workshop. If you guys want to join Build Lab, go to makeones.com. If you guys want pocket coaching, go to makeones.com. If you just want to say hi, say hi. So if you have questions about anything we talked about, put it down in the comments. There's stuff in the description. And I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you guys, Ian, Craig, Jenna, for being here. Hope you guys got some value. Peace.